Hello and welcome to Session 16, Row-Level Security in Power BI. I'm Andrew Conniff, a Microsoft technical trainer specializing in data and AI. Today we will explore the journey of the data analyst using Power BI. Let's dive right in. In this session, we're going to discuss configuring row-level security using the static and the dynamic methods. In Power BI, we can secure reports and workspaces by sharing them to Active Directory users and groups. It is also possible to share a single report, but have the users see different data according to their job role. For example, we would like to make one report where employees in a specific department can only see the sales for that department. For instance, Maria Cameron works in the game department and should only see the sales from that department. She should not see the sales from sports or clothing. And there are two ways to implement row-level security in Power BI, the static method and the dynamic method. The static method in row-level security uses a fixed value in the DAX filter, while the dynamic method uses a DAX function. So Power BI row-level security uses DAX to control who can see the data. Think of it as adding another filter to the appropriate users, no matter what filter slicers or interactions they choose. In Power BI, each time a member of that role interacts with the report, Power BI will add that filter to the interaction, thus limiting them to what they can see. There is a way to set up row-level security only once without needing to continue to maintain it. Instead of the fixed string we used before, like game or clothing, we're using a DAX function in the row-level security filter. The function, user principal name, returns the logged in user email. So we'll compare the email address from the employee table with the email of that user that logged into the Power BI service. Now let's go to a demonstration and see how this works in Power BI.
Now let's apply row-level security. So as we look through here, we can see we are seeing all of our values here, and Michael Blythe has who we're going to work with here. And let's go to our data pane. We're going to take a look at our salesperson performance table. And here you can see we've got all the values that we're going to need. And if I go to manage roles on the home tab, we get our managed security roles. All right, so we're going to say new, we'll call this sales people. And then we're going to select our table, sales person performance. We're going to switch to the DAX editor here, and we're going to put in that we want to use the UPN and assign it to the user principal name. So we're going to start off here with type that in, save and close. Right, next, what we want to do is view the roles as. View as, and we want to say other user, and we want to put in the information for Michael Blythe. All right, make sure those match. And we also want to say sales people role, the role we just added. So what we're saying is we want this user when it's logged in, or any user, because we used user principal name, which maps to the UPN, and in the salespeople roles. So we're using both of these. We have our UPN and the salespeople role that we just created. We have to have both of these checked. And now we can view as, and we get a little notice saying that we are viewing now as Michael Blythe. We go now to our table, we see only our values as Michael Blythe, and we can stop viewing and we can see again. So as we go through and we apply row-level security to all of our visuals and various roles, we can test with people in those roles and make sure that the visual looks the way it's supposed to when it gets there. And that is the end of this demonstration.
This concludes our session. There are many ways to continue your learning journey, and we encourage you to watch the other videos in this course or search out your next favorite topic on Microsoft Learn at aka.ms/learn.